Hey guys, welcome to our Saturday night thrift haul. We go live every Saturday night at 8:30 Mountain Time to show you the things that I can't even call this junk because this is really good stuff.
Yeah, it's really awesome antiques.
To show you what we've purchased thrifting throughout the week. And we usually tell you what we paid for, what we're going to sell it for. But two things. One, I cannot remember because we literally bought 18 boxes full of stuff. Two, what we paid for it is irrelevant because it cost us way more than what we paid for it. It's more about the expense of traveling and shipping and all those things. But most of these things came from England. We thrifted them in England. They're called charity shops. And we have a playlist with all of our England videos if you're curious where all the stuff came from. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Caitlin's on here dropping links. But if you go to JamieRayVintage.com and click England and French finds or Saturday thrift haul, you can find these items in both collections. We do have some thrifted things from the US this week.
We had to go to the thrift store. If you saw a video from last Thursday/Friday, just a day ago, we redid a table because we sold one while we were gone, had to fill it in the shop, and we couldn't not. We were in the thrift store. We did a quick peruse. We're like, okay, we're only going to buy stuff that we think is really, really good. And we found some stuff we thought was really, really good.
Well, we bought what we could carry. So why don't we show them what we thrifted this week? We thrifted 4 things. So one thing was this
red enamel.
It was a coffee pot originally missing
for Christmas.
Missing the top and guts. And I think I paid $1.50. Is there a tag on there?
It was $1.50. I took it off.
We're going to sell for $24.95. So it's good old American enamel. I actually think
actually usable. It's like fine inside. There's no chips inside.
I think it'd be so cute with a Christmas tree in it.
Little one.
It's kind of campy Americana. I normally buy the blue, but the red was just perfect for the holidays. And then we also have a box.
This is going to be $24.95.
I said that.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
I missed that. I thought you always said.
I said it kind of fast.
Just breezed right on through.
I haven't been up this late since we've been back from England.
She's been falling asleep like all the way out for the night at like 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, so I'm way past my bedtime. People have been asking us, like, don't you guys have jet lag? I can power through till about 8 o'clock, but I've been waking up between 3:30 and 4 still, like every day. My body hasn't gotten back to our normal sleeping time.
Well, and we did do daylight savings time over there. It happens like a week early.
Tonight we have it
here.
And
now it's happening again tomorrow. So, yay us.
You want to show them that box?
Oh, yes. We picked up this big box. It's already like a pre-made wood box. We're going to paint it, maybe stencil it, do some fun stuff to it. It's perfect for like kindling beside your fireplace, especially now that the weather's getting cooler, or if we'll probably do it up like Christmassy or at least some sort of winter theme. So it'll be really great in your house for Christmas time. This is going to be $48.95. We paid, I think, $2 for this box. It probably cost me at least $10 to $15 to build it with wood. So
yeah, I'm excited to work on that. I love like chests and boxes are my favorite thing to make look old.
Okay, so that was
somebody else must also love the granite red enamel because that just sold. All right, and then this is awesome. Actually,
this was also thrifted.
This looks like straight up something we would have bought in Europe.
Actually, I have a ton of art that we listed that we got while we were in England, and this is oil painting.
An original.
It's got a little bit of dent. Looks like something pressed up against it on the canvas over here. But it's an original. We don't know the artist. I tried looking him up, H.A. Herring, but the subject matter is perfect. It's a Dutch style windmill. Very well done.
It's kind of aged. You see that brown on there? They use some sort of glaze, and literally it looks like something we would bought in England or France.
Yep. So it's $129.95. I believe we paid at the thrift store on this because we do remember what we paid for this. This was $5. If you come across original oil paintings, even if they're what I call a no-name artist, like they're not like super renowned and well-known, their stuff's not going for thousands of dollars in an auction, they're still really valuable. Oil paintings last hundreds of years if you take care of them.
Well, oil paints are expensive.
Yeah.
Like just the paint used to make them. And then if you can find quality art where this one is really well composed, the subject matter is really like desirable and trending, always pick them up. Do not leave oil paintings behind if you're a reseller because they will sell, I promise you. All right.
We showed 3 things. I thought you said we got 4.
Yeah, we also have a Pampered Chef pie.
It's under here. So all the first
pie
four
pan.
things we showed you were thrifted. This
Well,
is
all
the
thrifted,
Pampered Chef Family Heritage Collection.
It was $3.
And it's got like the glaze around here, but it's the stoneware inside that gets like really aged and seasoned and perfect. And this one, I don't think anyone's ever cooked in it. It looks brand new to me.
They get kind of scuffed from being put into pans, but yeah, that one looks new. It was $4. They were like $100 on Amazon. I actually have no clue what they sell for from Pampered Chef. But we're selling this one for, I think, $24.95.
Yeah, I pilled the price when I was picking it up. $28.95.
$28.95, which I feel like is a really good price for Pampered Chef. And again, Pampered Chef isn't really necessarily like our design MO, but it's really good quality stoneware. And
we do kitchenware stuff.
Yeah, we do kitchenware stuff. We always sell it. So if you're a reseller, if you are doing reselling, Pampered Chef stoneware, pick it up if you can get it for $1 or $2. You can always like scrub it with some baking soda and water and like a scrub brush and clean it up if it gets dirty.
All right, if you live somewhere humid, you might want to just grab this. They used to like heat these
I don't think
up.
People are still going to use that
and put them in the bed to warm. It's like a bed warmer. If you're questioning how we got this home, the handle has a little brass screw in it here, and I pulled it off, and this fit just about perfect in a suitcase. And we shipped this separate. We had to take it apart and ship it separate, but got it home. This is going to be $99.95. It's already pretty cleaned up and polished. It does have a little patina down in the detail. I'm going to try to get close so you guys can see all the things tonight. If you're interested in purchasing it, you can go to JamieRayVintage.com. And on the website, we have good, better close-up pictures of every item.
Zeb had to buy a screwdriver so that way he could take that apart. That is notorious for, he actually has cut stuff down for me. He takes stuff apart, like however we have to get it home. And I know a lot of people are going to ask, the sink has not yet arrived. I believe it's being delivered sometime next week. We have a few boxes that they're being stinkers about in customs, and I've sent them detailed lists and stuff. So hopefully those get through. All right. Yeah. Polly says, yes, the oil paint, I'm sure costs more than $129.95.
Yeah.
She says, for sure, I painted one oil painting. I prefer acrylic. It's faster and cures, and oil takes forever. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
you got to do oil in stages.
Not only is the paint expensive, but it takes a really long time to dry. So keep that in mind if you find good oil paintings.
Okay, we have another. This is already gone. We have another. We had another one real similar to this. This one is in a little bit newer, better condition, even though I think they're the same age. They're both cast iron bases. This is the Salter Staffordshire, made in England. So we had two. This has got the brass bowl for your fruit or whatever you're weighing over here. And then this comes complete with a set of weights. We only brought stuff home that we were like, we really need to just make sure we're having like complete things. Last time we bought some scales that didn't have the weights and they kind of sat around forever.
Those weights broke some of my things, so I'm a little
They did break some things coming home. Every time we go, we learn a couple lessons. These weights, no matter how much you bubble wrap them, still weigh like 5 to 6 pounds. So, they're going to have to go in a carry-on or something next time.
Well, yeah, I was like a carry-on.
Or inside a copper.
Well, we never bring boxes. And I was thinking, like, when we bring our packing materials, I want to bring some like 6x6x6s and 4x4x4s for like little things. Yeah. So we can box within a box because they flatten pretty good. So our plan next time is to not just bring foam. We probably won't bring that much bubble wrap because we can typically find bubble wrap over there. But we're going to find boxes that we can bring so we can put our more delicate stuff inside of boxes inside of a box. So I think we'll do that next time.
So this one, it's sold already. So, if you're seeing us talk about things, everything is active on the website right now. So if you see something you think you might want sitting out here on the table, just, go check the website out, come back and watch us in a minute.
We still have lots to list.
Yeah,
so if we miss out on something. We did buy duplicates of a lot of things. Let me show something else that's sold. This was one of Zeb's favorite things. I think we have a couple of them. We'll see how many more come in. It's got, I think, is this ivory?
Yeah.
Ivory. This is Victorian. It's got a beautiful embossed detail. I did put in the description, it's peeling a little bit, but it's a silver plate. And just really cute teapot, and it was $39.95.
Yeah, it's got a couple little places where the silver plate is not doing super hot, but overall, it's still in great condition.
So next up we have, these are fun. I got these from my Croc dealer where I get all my Crocs from. They are, they're not French. It's Belgium. They're from Belgium. They are stamped on the bottom. It says Belgique. So Belgique, which is Belgium.
Let me have one of those. I'll show you the stamp up close.
And it's got like this tree, and I love the coloring on it. Like, just the coloring is really beautiful. These are like jam pots. And I think they're $39.95 if I remember correctly.
Yep. And then they have the maker mark on the bottom. Some of these didn't have, we left a few behind. We got all the ones that were like mostly complete on the maker mark on the stamp below.
Well, and they're fun because they're like stoneware, and you can actually see like some of the ironstone like stones in the bottom, which is pretty common. They've got like imperfections in them. They're just really pretty. So I'm excited. Some of them are like easier to read than others, but all the stamps are underneath the glazing. Like, they don't do stuff like this anymore. You don't go to the grocery store and see jars like this.
No.
With jam
Half
in
the
them.
cost is in the jar.
Let's see if there's anything.
So we have a few of these. I think there's 8 in total.
Yes, there's 8 in total on these. Okay, next up, we're going to show.
Talk about, it was before the live actually started, but we had a channel member join. Wanted to recognize them because we don't often get them come through when we're live.
Jenny Hanks.
Jenny, thanks for joining. We got a video coming Tuesday for channel members.
Can you sell real ivory? If it's antique. So you can't sell ivory that's been like recently because it's illegal.
Like if you got an old piano that has ivory keys or things like that.
But they're like, it's already done. It was done like 80, 100 years ago. So it's already there. All right, next up, we've got this teapot. So I've been doing some research on teapots. This one is from the 1800s, which is insane. It's super beautiful. I love.
It's a heavier gauge. You can tell some of the age just by the weight of things.
We probably bought, I'm not kidding, like 20 teapots, and they're varying in like size and age and
wear.
patina and wear. So there will be some
one has a hole in it. It's waiting for your flower garden.
We ponied up and spent a lot of money on copper this time because we feel like we can never have enough copper. So we just tried to buy different levels of it because everybody's on a different budget. So this is more of a bougie copper item. This one is $199.95 for this.
So this is one, it's in good enough shape. You could take this down. Most of your big cities are going to have a place that will re-tin copper for you. And maybe some of the smaller rural towns, depending on the area where you're at. But I mean, we have a place up in Salt Lake that'll do it. It's about $60 to $70 per piece, depending on what you've got. But if you wanted this to be in usable condition, I feel like this one could be retinned and you could use this for daily service if you wanted to like have it be beautiful and functional.
To me, like something from like the 1800s, so this is 19th century.
Yeah.
I would probably just use like a showpiece.
Yeah.
So I think
most of what we got is like that.
The reason why it's kind of taken us a while to do like list things is Zeb and I have literally been looking up every single item, comparing like multiple photos, like physically investigating, like really trying to be as accurate as humanly possible with the things that we're listing. And so that's taken a little bit of time, but it's been fun. So
speaking of accuracy, go ahead.
I was going to say my next favorite copper piece tonight is slightly more expensive than that one. That one actually just sold, but this one. So this is a George the Third coal scuttle. It's old, like I think early 1800s. It says on the listing, like I always make sure to like look up when things were made. I'll see if I can find that, Caitlin. But it's beautiful. Like it's got patina, it's got rivets on the bottom, like the way it's forged. Like it's just a really pretty piece of copper. We actually got it already shined up, which is George III. Okay, it's a helmet coal scuttle, 1800s. Okay, I just want to make sure I gave you the right information. And it's these like lines in it and the way it's made, and then the little handle in the back, which is indicative of that like time period.
This is real good for dumping.
I think, did we buy this we bought that at an antique store, yes?
Yeah, this came from the Hungerford Arcade.
Yeah. I'm just actually really surprised at the sheer volume of items we were able to buy at antique malls. Not high-end antique stores, but antique malls with booths. If you guys are going to England specifically, it's worth your time. Some things were too expensive for us to like buy and send home.
Yeah, but if I was shopping for myself and I lived there, I would have been popping on all kinds of stuff.
There was just stuff that I'm just like, wow, I'm so glad I did this. Because before we never would stop at antique stores, always like charity shops.
Well, we hit the one up in Kent when we would go down to Canterbury. From Rye to Canterbury, there was like one on our route there, and it was okay. But that was like more like really upscale. All the booths were like very ornately, like they were really meticulously set up. Yeah. And this, like the booths had like tonnage, and some of them were just like stuffed so full you could hardly walk in them.
If you watch the video where I'm sitting on the floor in Hungerford Arcade, that is a true and accurate description of a lot of my antique booth experience. It was like hoarder booths. And I had to be careful because this lady had a lot of things that would break in her booth. There's literally like, I have glass in my thumb. In her booth, actually. I have glass in my thumb still because I like pushed myself off the ground and there was like glass on the floor. But it's fine because all the blue and white, well, I shouldn't say all, 90% of the blue and white platters that you're going to see today came out of her booth. And some of them are fantastic.
All right, let's show some books. Now I'm going to show you these and I want you to like sit back, relax, get real comfortable, because when I tell you the price, you're going to be like, Zeb, you're crazy. But I guarantee you, I probably spent an hour and a half to 2 hours researching, making sure that I had what I thought I had.
These are going in the safe. These will not be at the shop unless they sell. Because
if someone comes by and they're like, hey, I want to buy them. This is that we found this on the very first day we were there. It's a Bible, and it's a family Bible with commentary, and it's got 3 volumes. And then I'm also including, it came with this common book of prayer by the same publisher. This one was sold separately, so it's a little bit different binding, but not really that much different. I'll show you here in a little bit. But this original first volume, they probably couldn't afford to buy them all at once, but they kept them in print for a long time because it was hard to set stuff up back in the day. So the Holy Bible, Volume 1, Genesis through Job, and it's the Doyley and Mant Publishing. This one is from 1817, and it's got I got a lot of close-up pictures online.
It's crazy to think like he's holding a book that was 200 years old.
Yeah. This is the inside here. I'm going to try to handle it real careful. And then you can see the weather and the age. There are a few pictures, and it has the plates, the pictures listed in here. Wait a second. I might be lying to you. This one says it's from 1850.
Is that the wrong one?
Oh, you know what? Okay, so I was right. It's because I listed those all 1850. It was originally put together in 1817. This particular version I have was published in 1850. And I did notate that in the listing. But just so you've got a few maps in here.
5 years old, potato.
A few, it's still, I found one from 1870 that was going for $4,200. So these ones are fine. I'm still in my price range.
I'm wondering if these were the books that would have been like owned by a church or something, like what makes them really special.
So they're a family Bible is what they called them. And they got commentary, so you could like home church.
So you could home church. Okay. Yeah. That's fun. I love this one. Has like all the rehearsed prayers. And
things. This has like a whole thing on like how to make sure you're ready to get married and how to do the marriage prayer, all kinds of stuff like that. The sacrament prayer things.
Was that Church of England?
I think so. It could be Catholic because it's early enough. I'm not sure. I don't know when they stopped being fully Catholic and went to Church of England.
Church of England happened with King Henry?
I believe so, but I don't know.
Yeah, King Henry, because he wanted to divorce his wife and he couldn't. So
probably before that. So probably Church of England. I should have researched that more, but I was more just into the actual age of the books. Anyway, this set, now that I've talked about it and ranted about it for a hot minute, is going for $1699.95.
Not $16.99. $1,600.
Yeah.
We don't really sell things like that unless it's like furniture includes shipping. So this is like a huge big ticket item.
The cheapest one I found, complete set of 4 books like this, was $2,200 online. So I feel like we're good.
And I'm like, if it doesn't sell right away, it's worth way more than we're asking. So it's kind of like an investment piece. So it's going to go in the family safe.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep it safe there. Oh, $1697.95.
Oh, whoops.
So yeah,
somewhere
King
in there.
Henry the 8th. Yeah.
Okay.
I know a little bit just from going. Zeb knows way more than me. I just remember.
We
went to Leeds Castle and I heard
there's
all
so
about
much
it.
history over there that like it's just stacked on you everywhere you go, and I have trouble keeping it all straight.
All right, next up, this is one of our like lower end copper items. It's copper. It looks like copper over brass. Actually, no, it's just copper. And then we've got a brass handle because you can see it needs to be retinned. This is a fish pan and it's made in Portugal. It's a Targus pan and it is $34.95. And I love all kinds of copper. Like I just think things like this are just beautiful hanging up on the wall. You could still polish it if you wanted it to be like a little bit shiny. And sorry, I thought Jack is getting dropped off. Sorry, it might get loud in here for a minute. We went to Jack's football banquet, but they were playing dodgeball and we had to leave to come here. So one of the other football moms is dropping him off. All right, next up, we have a discount item. I don't know if this is sold yet.
Here, I'll show it up close.
It has some damage. The glass broke in transit.
We lost like a little bit of her face.
But the frame is really old. The mat is cool. So I think that it's just for that alone, it's worth what I'm asking, which is $9.95.
Yeah.
And I think does it say it was framed at Boots? Is that what it says in the back?
Yeah, Boots, but a long time ago.
Yeah, so Boots is like the Walgreens of England. So it's just kind of fun that it was framed at Boots, probably in like the 60s, 50s, 60s.
Yep.
So $9.95 for that one.
Okay, so right off here, we've got a little brooch with a clasp. These are all $19.95.
Yeah, I think some of them have sold. We tried to buy smaller things and things that we could sell at like under $20, or some things we even have some things like under $10. Because for us, if we are going to sell them inexpensively, they have to be small and not take up a lot of real estate.
And then we've got some pill boxes here. These are crazy ornate. Like I love how much detail.
Let me cover my face
even
so that
on the bottom. Here, I got you. But even on the bottom.
Checked. Why are you topless? Go get changed. Did you get sweaty playing dodgeball? All right, well, don't come in here without your shirt on. Nobody needs to see those abs.
All right, so there's the $19.95 on that. This little pill box here. They're all great. I need to get myself like a manly version of a pill box.
I think so. The vintage floral pill case sold.
But even on the bottom, there's like detail all the way around. And these are all, they're not, I always say these are probably from
like 70s.
Yeah, 50s or earlier, because the plastic is they're like plastic lined. But just some fun things we found.
The brooch sold too. Yeah, brooches sell fast. Last time we picked up a ton of brooches at Car Boots, which is like a swap meet, but we actually did not go to as many car boots that were as successful as we hit up last time. This trip was predominantly thrift stores, which if anybody has thrifted in England, I'm telling you, we went to a lot of thrift stores and antique malls because
I would say 6 to 10 charity shops a day.
Yeah, because they're tiny. They're like, I don't know. How big would you say?
Some of them are probably not even as big as this room we're in.
Maybe 400 square feet, 500 square feet charity shops.
Yeah. All right, that's all of those. Just wanted to show you those up close because they have such like fine little detail. Maybe
like your thyroid supplement in those. That's about it.
I don't know. You could probably fit like 10 ibuprofen or whatever, you know.
Okay, next up, looks like these already sold. I'm going to show them. These are Le Parfait jars. These would have come after the blue-green jars. So we have the antique French canning jars, which are $99.95. I don't have any. Is that, would you grab one up there? I don't have any here because I already took them to the shop because we listed them yesterday. But they look similar to this. This is mine. I have like 4. In fact, the ones that I'm selling are prettier. Yeah, than the ones that I have. So these would have came after, but these are Le Parfait jars. We picked these up at a charity shop, and they were $19.95 each.
All right, let's do some art. Who's ready to see some art? When we, just a little disclaimer on the art, when we are looking to, because these take up a whole suitcase. So we basically filled up a whole suitcase full of art because it's big, it's bulky. Some of the frames we couldn't bring. And some of the frames weren't even necessarily that old. But to start out, this is an original pastel of, it's kind of trying to fall out of its mat. I'm going to leave it with the mat. Just like a little countryside, country lane, almost pastoral. It doesn't have a frame on this one. And when we ship it, we're going to ship it flat so that it and protect it in a ton of stuff. It does have the artist's name. It was done by Austin Whitty, I think it is, or Wilty. It's written in the thing. It's kind of hard to read. Couldn't find anything on Austin that they had done, but I love the subject matter and that it's a pastel. So that one is $99.95. No frame on that.
I think the next time we go, we're going to measure our suitcases and take measuring tape with us, because there were a few of them that we literally just had to leave the frames there because it would have been too expensive to ship just them. Like, it would have required such a big box, and they didn't fit in our suitcases. So, and the frames, to be honest, were not like amazing, but we could have sold them for $30, $40, $50 more if they were framed.
Sorry, I had to wander way over
Buttercup is just fine. If you want the full update on Buttercup, you have to wait for the next Jamie and Zeb video.
It's coming out soon.
I'm not allowed to relinquish any information. So there you go.
Okay, and then so this is
that pastel is $129.95. I think.
Did I write that wrong?
No, I'm wondering if it was stuck from something else. I don't know.
Sorry, I'm giving bad pricing. Just go off what the website says, guys.
Well, that's the only way to buy it.
That's the price. So this is an older print that came out of an old book, but this one here, I can't remember the name of it.
So Jane Austen. Like, that's why I bought this. It had a really simple, understated black frame that we had to leave in England, but show them the back of that. Like, that print is old. It's been around a hot minute. It's a double matte. It's got a wrinkle in the actual print itself.
So it's got like a little, like it's been scuffed right there. And I took a close-up pic of it so you can see it on the website. But the print itself is pretty fantastic.
Isn't that pretty?
So this is, because it doesn't have a frame and it's got that little crease up in the top, it's $58.95.
It's really cool. I like that one. And Zeb and I were like, should we wait? Should we frame stuff? And I told him, I said, we have so much to get through. We're just going to list everything the way that it is. And then if things don't sell that need to be framed, when we have time, we'll just go to the shop, grab them, frame them, relist them, and up the price.
So this
when we have time, whenever that is. I don't know when that's going to happen.
This is an old print. I'll show you the back of it. The paper is pretty old on here.
It's all aged around the edge, which I really love.
And it is Claude Monet. It's called like Poppy Field, I believe, something like that. But since it's, I mean, obviously I don't have the original Claude Monet painting.
Why you don't have the original Monet? But
the prints, I was looking up the prints, and the framed prints were going for like $400, $500, $600. This one without a frame is going for $74.95. And it's very good print. The paper is, I called it heavy art paper. I'm real into papers right now. Like, it's even got like some texture on it. So it's a good one. All right, you want to show them some of your dishes? I could go for art for like the next 20 minutes.
I feel like I could see that happening. Okay, this I got in Hungerford. They called like the bargain basement. We picked through the bargain basement a lot. And this was a whole set of dishes, and it came with a little box. They're not perfect condition. Normally dishes I'll list like individually, like these plates would be $14 each, and then these would be $8 each. I was like, I'm just gonna sell the whole set. I included pictures. There are cracks. It's Christmas miracle they even made it here. These are the most delicate teacups. You're gonna get the whole set.
We have stuff way tougher that didn't make it.
$69.95. And there's even one that like had a crack in it that they repaired. And I didn't expect this to survive the pond, but it did. It's not labeled, so I don't know the maker on this china, but the entire set, there's 2 big plates, some like dessert plates, saucers, and teacups will be $69.95 for the entire set.
Let me show you the design up close so you can get a good look at it.
It's very delicate and pretty. Like, ordinarily, just give an idea of price, I would probably sell $19.95 just one teacup and saucer.
Oh wow.
So, but because they're not in perfect condition, I thought $69.95 was fair.
So there's the design on it. Just fun little floral, little roses. We've already been on half an hour. We got to get going.
It's probably porcelain. Yes, I do believe so. Okay, next up, I think all of these sold. These, it's funny because Zeb's like, we have to get small stuff. And so the very next day, I found, can you give me the tiny art?
Well, I was
found
packing,
this tiny art,
packing, and I had
tiny
like
books.
nothing to fit in the cracks.
I found all of the pill cases the next day. Like Zeb said, get small. I also found little candlesticks. So this is a little candelabra. It's brass. It's $22.95. And then I found this little art. This is hand cut. It says on the back, these pictures are completely handcrafted by cutting several prints, then shaping and layering. So I don't know what, do you think there's a poppies? I think so. Little poppies in here.
Let me see if I can get close enough for them to see them.
And then these are the poems of Sir Walter Scott. And there's 3 different ones, handy volume edition. They're not in pristine condition. And we sold them for $12.95 each. I think that one, what's the price on the back of that one?
So this is $10.95.
$10.95. Okay. So I tried really hard to find smaller things.
This is like when you have like that art class and they make you do like mixed media. That's what this reminds me of. It's like almost like a little shadow box, and these are all, they're like 3D.
And everything's cuter when it's small. So, all right. Next up, we've got a couple of different, I'm going to show you. So I love Jello, like Jello molds from England. I actually have one over there that I'm not selling that is just like one that I found at Duval Kitchen. But I did find a few that I am reselling. So these are made to put like Jello in, or like meats and things, pudding molds. And this one's $39.95. This one is stoneware. So like they call it earthenware. In America, it's stoneware.
Didn't you get one of those to keep for yourself?
I did have a big one over there. That's mine. But this one I'm selling. And then these are the clear glass ones. These ones are $19.95. I actually think these display better because this is actually kind of boring to just have that on the wall. The beauty's on the inside. What I love about these is that you can see all the detail on them. And these ones are $19.95 each for these molds. All right. Next up, we're going to talk about the potty. We have 2 chamber pots. They're both $42.95. This one is like a stoneware. I don't know if it's ironstone, but you can see the pitting in the stone. And it's a beautiful chamber pot. I just grow a plant in it. This one did break, so I included a picture. Zeb used the super glue gel to put this handle back on, so it's not super noticeable unless you get close. We actually have maybe half a dozen pieces that we are going to be super gluing back together. See how well they work. This one's a really easy repair.
Judy said that every time we say Hungerford, it reminds her of the Hunger Games. I'm like, me too.
Yeah.
Every time we were driving through, because we went back twice. Oh, I went back 3-4 times because I had 2 trips of stuff to take because we were shipping from there. But every time I'm like, here we go. Hunger Games of antiques.
So this chamber pot's enamel and it has flowers on it. And I believe this is an England logo. Tell me if I'm wrong. It's like the 2 lions. So I put that it was English. If I'm wrong, let me know and I'll change it. Royal stamps. Yeah, and it says 20 on the bottom. So you've got enamel and you've got stoneware here.
So let me test this real quick.
No, we can't test chamber pots on TV. It's not that kind of show.
No, I glued the handle back on. I just want to show you guys. It's good to go. I'm holding it by the handle.
The sheep, yeah. So the sheep, we actually rehomed our sheep maybe 4-ish months ago. We're in the city, so there's a limit to the amount of farm animals we can have. And so and
we're keeping Buttercup in the neighbor's yard.
Yeah. So we actually rehomed to the sheep.
Okay. Did you show them the Churchill pottery?
No. So we already had some listed. Those are the little bowls, but there's also a big bowl. So this one is 19 ounces. And
this one's 10.
The 10-ounce ones are $19.95. I love Churchill. It's just a really great brown stoneware, like crockery almost.
So this is the super vitrified, made in England.
Super vitrified. All right, sorry. I don't know exactly how much this one. I think this is like $26.95. Don't hold me to it. All right, so I want to show these. These are kind of like my favorite. I actually saw these go for $300 plus, but I'm not like a super huge expert, and these are not perfect. But these are a really like common pattern willow, like people love it, but these are old. These are like old stoneware platters, super heavy, and like from the 1800s, and they've got this beautiful age on the background. And I didn't realize how old they were. I was just like, oh, these are super brown and kind of stained, and I love the crazing on the back. They do have like this one says 11. I don't know what that one says on the back.
Same.
But they're just 11. Beautiful. I love blue and white. We found it everywhere, and I love these platters. So anyways, I found 2 of them, and they're $169.95 each. Now we have platters all over. Like these are probably the more expensive platters, but I think we have them all the way down to like $30. It just depends on like how expensive they are and like the value there. All right, Zeb, do you want to? Yes, blue willow is the pattern on that.
All right, I'm going to rapid fire some art and give you pricing. The descriptions, I tried to be fairly descriptive. This, I think, is out of either an old book or it was like old advertising. It's got a crease here, some wear in the top. But the subject matter is so good. I can't get it to stop glaring. I did pretty good. Redrick held a towel up today, a dark towel, so that we could get pictures without glare for me while we were taking pictures of these. But you can kind of see it's like an old, looks like chateau with some sheep and things.
That's a good one.
And then it's got some French. I think it's a French town.
Oh yeah, sorry. Here. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I don't want to forget. Caitlin, yes, the bowls are in the old Churchill listing. Sorry, go ahead.
So this one is $99.95. The actual advertising is pretty old. I would say early 1900s. When I was looking it up, I couldn't find an exact date, but I'm pretty confident in that.
That one has my whole heart. And this is actually probably my second favorite oil painting. My most favorite is the one that I kept for myself. But
so this is just a boat. Looks like he's out on the river going towards the ocean, some sort of inlet there. But original oil painting, I'm not going to touch it for you, but does have all the texture there. No glass over the top. Most oil paintings don't have glass.
They don't need glass.
Because they're oil-based paint. They're pretty sealed up. But anyway, this one here with the frame is $159.95.
Show them the sticker on the back from when it got framed. Like that's what my favorite thing is, to see all the. And you know what? We
base a lot of how old something is if we can't find the artist or when it was painted, based by the style of art that was popular during some time periods, but also probably was framed later. And sometimes things are framed a couple times, but you can tell a lot by the back of a painting.
Well, I have that sheet print that Debbie gave me, and it's from like the 50s. And it says like every time it was reframed, they wrote it on the back. But I love that print. That print actually reminds me a lot of the windmill that we bought at DI, like just the coloring, the aging.
So this one is under glass. Whoever framed it last put it under glass, just like a fun landscape. This is also an oil painting. It's not on canvas. It's like on the hardboard.
But this one is actually very detailed.
There's the name. It's like P Snow Brick or something. I had a hard time making that out. Couldn't find them online. But just another example of a good old oil painting.
This is more French countryside.
Yeah.
Show him the back. He must have painted on the backer board. Look, yeah. There's I think he probably used that and then he flipped it and used it again. Like that looks like the same colors that are on the front.
Yep. So this is $114.95. So this oil painting, we couldn't determine an age on this one. It's been framed and someone painted the frame while the oil painting was in it. The artist is probably up underneath here, but I'm not going to take it apart because it's got the tape and everything still on there. So we're just going to have to go with unnamed oil painting scene, but loved this one's very vibrant, very
it kind of reminds me of Thomas Kincaid, because it doesn't look like it's like lit up.
Yeah, but it's not fluorescent paints.
Yeah, it's cool. So I had a question. Not Too Shabby Patty wanted to know if
this one's $99.95
for decorating the cottage. So I do have 4 very nice Delft tiles that are actually from Germany. I'm going to maybe buy one more because you can get them on Etsy and put them in the kitchen. I bought the sink. I bought some taps. And I actually have some art that we're going to put in there. I probably won't put any original art in the cottage just for like value issues, but I might frame up some really good prints for there.
All right. So this is a print, but it is a 142 of 400 Wigan Pier signed by the artist down here. Let me see if I can get it to focus.
That one almost looks like a charcoal. Ivy's on here. She said.
So it is a charcoal print. It's $99.95.
She got to ship today. Yeah. It's so when we have huge like releases of product, it's one thing. But when we're having a huge release of like found items like this, it takes a long time to package them up because it's just a lot harder than just doing like paint and IOD and things. So it's like all hands on deck because we have, if you guys have followed the French and English finds tab on our website, things have been selling very quickly. And so we've just had hundreds of pieces we've had to ship out.
It's hard to show all the detail because of the glare I'm getting from this glass on here. This is an original watercolor by R.W. Gibson. Couldn't find any, not necessarily like super popular artist, but when we're shopping for art, especially when we have to ship it home, we're looking for original artwork that kind of speaks to us. Like, is this something we would hang in our own home, regardless of who painted it? And absolutely, this particular piece is going to be $129.95.
Zeb, do you want to show them?
Honestly, like I feel like I've been to a lot of art galleries, even for modern artists that are like up and coming, and like original works of art are going for $500, $600, $700.
You want to show them the print that I'm keeping?
Yes, I will. They'll all be.
One I ponied up. I paid 85 pounds for this.
To be honest, I'll
like
probably make a
US
decoupage
dollars.
paper out of this, so you probably will be able to get your hands on it, just not the original oil painting.
Yeah, so this one is mine.
This is an original oil.
85 times 130%. That's how much it would be in dollars. So I don't mind ponying up for art either. Like this one is like beautiful. I'm not like in love with the frame. I'll probably keep it.
So this is the original canvas with nails, and then someone stapled it to keep it tight, and then they've also screwed it into this with some modern clasps.
I actually love art like that with no frame.
This has no glass. That's just how shiny the oil painting is.
So that's my piece. I actually don't keep a ton of stuff. And this pot that's in the back that has the M on it, that's my copper. There's always 1 or 2 pieces of copper that I pick up every trip. And that giant pot is mine. All
right. I'm going to just keep going, and then we'll do more plates. I'm going to get through all this art real quick while I'm up here.
I'm actually like, I don't know that I want these to sell.
You don't want me to sell these?
I mean, we're going to sell them, but these are so good.
I might make a print out of these.
We need to check and see how old they are.
It's really hard to see. They are in print. They're not the original painting, but they're older. You can tell just by kind of like the fading on there. We've got some Highland cows, and then I have their friends.
It's a pair. Like finding a pair of old prints is not easy.
This set is $199.95, I believe.
Bridget said all 6 of her orders shipped today.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
All 6 of them. Well, thank you.
Thanks for supporting our trips abroad. We're planning on a trip this spring, probably not abroad. We're going to stay stateside.
We might go to Texas. We may even venture, depending on what things are going, farther east.
Yeah. We might go to Texas because Cooper's birthday is in March, and we're not really supposed to see him because he's on a mission, but we might deliver a cake.
We're not family, so we're allowed.
We're not family, so we can get away with it. So we might deliver a cake.
So this is just 3 little, they're older prints. They're out of a book. I didn't pull it all the way apart, but I had a little bit of provenance on it from the person selling it to me. They knew quite a bit about it, and they didn't know the exact book, the name of it, but they had seen them before in print. But so just 3, they're matted really nicely.
This one is good.
And it's like an older.
There you go.
Did that focus?
Yeah, so English cottage.
I took some up close pictures of each individual one because they're so small and so detailed without glare. This one's $49.95.
I feel like that's actually a really good deal.
Yeah, I mean, the art itself is pretty small, so I priced accordingly.
I like the compilation of the three.
All right, this is another oil painting, another original. Cockington Village, Torquay, and then it's by A. Bottomley, 1925 is when this oil painting.
Now there is a loose piece of cardboard under the glass.
It's not cardboard, it's part of this frame here. It's right here floating around. I can't get it out, but I don't want to take the back apart.
Yeah.
You can imagine why I want to leave this intact. This is $149.95, but this paper is like so delicate. Someone's used twine to hang it. But I want to leave this because this is part of what you're getting. This is part of the age and the goodness. I mean, 1925, that was 98 years ago now that someone painted this. And it's probably of their hometown village.
It's so cute. Well, it says in the corner what village.
Yeah.
So Cooper's in San Antonio. And I have a really good BFF who lives in Bernie. And so we usually go visit there. Sometimes we'll go to Hill Country, go see Round Top.
This is another really old print that has been framed and matted. It's called Bottom Fishing.
This is very like, if you go to a pub, you're going to find this print on the wall.
Yeah, it was originally published in 1831. I don't know that, like, I can't confirm that
we don't know
how
when the print
old
was
this
made.
print is, but it's a replica of that original, and it is older itself.
So
like,
we sold out of all those French Belgium little pots. Sold all of them.
He had like 20 more. We should have got
It's funny because I bought them and I was like, oh, I've never bought these before. I didn't know how popular they'd be. So next time, if I can get more, I will.
Anyway, this one is, if you got a fisher in your life, like this is amazing.
Yeah, I just love that because it's such a pub print. Like, all right, one last one. Then we're going to show you some maps because those maps are really cool.
Well, let's show them some more plates and stuff.
Okay, we'll
give them a break from printed stuff.
Okay.
This one is not as old, but it's an original watercolor. And I just loved the subject matter of this one. You got some kids playing in the fall in there, got their ball in the middle of the field. Not sure on the age of this. I don't have an artist to give you, but it's not a print. It's going to be $69.95. Oh, also, if you go to the website, I measured all of these. All the measurements are in the listing.
All right, so you'll have to go. You'll have to excuse me if I don't remember exactly all the provenance for all of this because I looked up so many blue and white things. So you'll have to go to the website to get all the deets on it. Some of them, like this, is like stoneware, so a lot heavier. Some of them, most of them are actually. I don't think we have any like porcelain. It's all stone. No. Like none of it is like China. This one is Seaforth. This one is 1995 Woods, Burlesome, England. So some of them aren't as valuable. This one has like kind of a pagoda house in the middle, but I loved it because of the edge. So the detail on this one was some of my favorite. This one also had a really pretty edge on it. They are in a boat. There's some cows. Anytime you can get cows, sheep, chickens, I'm going to buy it. So there's a couple of cows on this one. This is the 250th anniversary of Thomas Gainsborough, Staffordshire. There's that one. This one already sold. This one is Delft from Holland. Not as old, but it's still stoneware and very popular. It's $29.95 for this plate. I tried, you guys, to find red and white for Christmas. I found one and it broke. So we're going to be gluing that one together. But I found lots of blue and white. So this is blue willow, but this is not like your modern, like Johnson Brothers blue willow. This is on old stoneware. It's Crown Pottery, Longton warranted. And the way you can tell about it, if it's heavy, and then you can see the pitting. I don't know if you can see that in the back of the plate. You can kind of see it. So these are old, like those platters I showed you, and they've got like some cracks, but not like they're not cracked, if that makes sense. And so these are $22.95 each, and I have 3 of them.
Julie says we need to go to Maine. She knows tons of places and all the history on.
I want to just go to Maine so I can do some dickering.
Yeah.
If you don't know what dickering is, then watch Down East Dickering. It's the best. It's my favorite show. I'm like,
I'm gonna wait till we're past March though to go to Maine. Like that's like a late summer trip, I think.
This, we have the matching soup tureen already listed. you can see the stamps in the actual stoneware, and then they've got the like label. It says opaque, SH&S England. This one is $99.95. Really pretty platter.
Is that the one that has like the gold in it?
Yeah, this is the gold. When we have a similar soup tureen, I think, with lid that I already took to the shop and listed. These are a set. So you've got a medium and a large platter, but they're the same. I'm selling them individually though. So it's $119 for this one and $99 for this. The stamp is Royal Winton Delft. And I love the windmills and the cows. So just for subject matter, I bought those and love them. All of these are like slightly like old. Some of them have like little chinks in them, but they're not like horribly damaged. For the age, they're in pretty good condition. Another transferware platter. This one is not as valuable. The stamp is illegible. So it's $39.95, but I love the border on this one. And then we've got another willow platter, but this is modern. So let me show you see how this is like older, not as crisp ironstone. We've got those platters I showed you earlier. This is just like regular stoneware, like modern stoneware. You're not going to see like the big pieces of stone in the back. It's Washington Old Willow made in England, and it's $21.95. So when you're buying platters, age, maker, and what it's made of make all the difference. So if you can't afford $100 for a platter, try to find a similar one like this. You get the look for a lot less. So this one is $21.95. So it can be done. You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars. I'm gonna tell you right now, when I was in my early like 20s and 30s, I was not spending $100 on a platter. Okay, another stoneware platter. This has got all the crazing in the back. This one is $129.95. I looked up the maker. I don't know if Caitlin's dropped the link. I've been going
She's been dropping links like crazy.
But if you look this one up, you can find the maker. I just loved the pattern and that it was so different. I found so much blue and white.
There you go.
Sorry, I found so much blue and white. And this one was in like brown transferware, but then it almost looked like, you know, like when they color.
It's got like the gold on the handles.
It's got gold here, but you know, like when they color black and whites?
Oh, yes.
That's what the coloring on this looks to me, like a colored black and white. And so that's why I picked it. But then I got home and discovered it was really valuable. So this one's $129.95 for this one.
Linda Smith says if we're going to go to Maine, go after Labor Day.
Got it.
I feel like that's probably about right. The heat will be gone. The bugs will be gone, right? It'll start cooling off a little bit. September.
So somebody got them the George III coal scuttle. And I believe that is the only, I think we only picked up 2 scuttles and they've both sold. Last time we picked up more. This time we did not find as many. Okay. Are we good?
We're good.
You want to show them maps and then I'll go through this last bit of stuff?
I'm just going to show them a couple maps because I've got like 30 of them here. The maps I picked up just because A, I love maps, and B, these ones are just really fun. A lot of them come in these packages. They list anywhere from, I think a couple of them had tears or were completely ripped, but the whole map was there and could have been taped together if you want. I mentioned it, and they're priced accordingly. So they run from like $9.95 up to like $38, I think, depending on size.
$14.95 on the back to $22.95.
Oh, well, there's a couple that are $9.95 that are torn, and don't have any cases. But so let's dig into this. Like some of these.
Jeff spent an hour digging through the map bin at the Hungerford Arcade.
I just want to show you a couple of my favorite ones. This
no map left behind.
This is printed on fabric. It's like a paper fabric type material, and there's a couple of them like this, but they're pretty old. And look how detailed. Like these maps are like such a small section of the countryside. They're called ordnance maps. And this is, you could frame this. It's on like a canvas paper, and you know, just look at the detail on there. It's got all sorts of different features and lakes and rivers, and it shows you all the little trails and the topography. Anyway, the nerd in me was like, I got to take some of these home, but I've saved a couple for myself. The rest of these.
Oh, I didn't know you'd been shopping the stash.
I shopped the stash a little bit. I've got And let me show you the whole stack over here.
I always want to keep everything, but then I get to the point, because especially this trip where we have so much, that I'm like, oh, I got to list it all. And then I save only my favorite pieces. And then if it doesn't sell, then I can go shopping later.
So if you needed something that's going to be pretty awesome and indicative of the area, because they're literally maps of England, and I have a couple of Ireland as well. Like these would be pretty fun to pick up. And you know, some of them, this one here, I think is one of the more expensive ones. It doesn't have a case, but it's on canvas and it's full color.
That's
like,
big.
Look at that.
These are the right size to put in stockings. Like if you have a man or a woman or anybody in your life that loves maps, all folded up. This is like a really great
this
stocking
framed
stuffer.
like anywhere in your home, I think is just it's like art itself. Like someone spent countless days laying this out and surveying, and these were made before they had like satellite imagery.
You know, somebody offered, they're like, why don't you guys just get pickers? And I think part of what makes what we pick, and it's not that people couldn't buy as good a stuff as us, but we literally hand pick every single item in these collections.
Me, you know?
and sometimes I will buy something, and then the next day I'm like, okay, I have enough of that, and I'm looking for this. And from trip to trip to trip, there's things that like catch my eye, and I just, if I'm going to be in this business and do what we do, I want to do the shopping. Otherwise, I'm going to find something else to do. Do you know what I mean? Like that's just, it's one of the best things that we get to do. It's super fun.
All right, I'm going to show you an Ireland map, and then we'll be done with the maps. But they're all pretty much detailed about like this. They're all called like ordnance maps. Both Ireland maps, I have two of them. Oops, that's upside down.
They both sold.
They're different. Oh, they did?
Yeah, both the I was just checking the sold list.
They're different, but they're kind of the same coloring. So this is Dingle Bay. We had a good laugh about that.
Because it sounded like Dingleberry.
But they're literally like half an inch is 1 mile. So they're probably like 30 or 40 miles worth of land on the map, and they're so detailed.
See if I can, sorry, I'm just going to see if I can kind of pull. Oh, it looks like we have 2 ink wells left. If you've been waiting on ink wells, sorry, we don't have any here. I do have more coming, but I can't speak to when or that they're not going to break. I have now found all the ones that I bought from my craft dealer, but I found a couple more at an antique mall that I picked up. But we have 2 left that I for sure have.
All right.
All right, we just got this little bit
really
here.
Quickly on the maps. They're not all canvas, and I marked them accordingly on the listings if you're shopping for them. The ones that aren't canvas are like a really heavy map paper. I don't know if that's what you call it, but they're very heavy, sturdy
paper. Are they all
paper.
different ages on the maps as well?
It's hard. Yeah, there are a few different ages on the maps. I don't actually have dates on them because they're not dated. They just say copyright of like and some royal copyright number. And some of these that have covers have like the royal seals stamped on them.
They're not 1800s and they're not 1999.
No, I would say that these are like pre-50s, most of them.
Yeah, I would say 50s to 70s. Not 70s.
I think earlier than 70s.
You have to realize too, and anybody from the UK, don't beat me for this, but
that's not old to them.
No, I was just gonna say, like, things in England are a little bit behind in style. Like what we would think would be a certain age isn't always translated over into England. Like when you go there now, you'll actually see cereal up on the shelves with logos from 30 years ago. Like we haven't had that.
Jamie found out real quickly that like the Dr. Pepper that they make there with the little bit different logo is not like the Dr. Pepper she gets at home.
It's not the American Dr. Pepper. But I'm just saying, like, they are sometimes behind on logos and the way things are made. So sometimes it's hard to date things.
I don't know if behind is right word.
Well, they're not.
They're just like
they're just keeping the classics.
Yeah, they just kept with the classics.
Yeah, like your Kellogg's logo isn't the same as what you're going to find here in the States. Okay, let's get going with this. I picked up 2 French tart pans.
You have 2 minutes.
Didn't know one time we did a DIY and Zeb had a French tart pan we bought in the US.
The one I got was not this old.
Not this big, not this
It
old.
was like a newer. I got it at the thrift store.
But people lost their mind. And that's when I discovered that people love French tart pans. These are huge. These are
we actually, out of all the things we picked, we got several messages about, hey, can I just buy those from you before you list them?
I don't know that they've sold yet, but they're $19.95. They're in good condition. One of the lips is just a little bit. But the cool thing about these is this is how I got plates home. So I put a plate and then I put foam, a plate, foam, a plate, foam, a plate. And I made a little tart sandwich. And there was ironstone plates all inside of here. So if you are traveling and you see a tart pan and you're going to buy plates, just get yourself 2. And you've got some rigidity that will help your things make it home on time. These are $19.95 each for these. They say made in France on the whatever, the bottom that's removable. Kind of hard to tell, but it's on there. Next up, we've got this little copper pot with a lid. It is a little snug, and I showed, can you take it off? I showed in the listing that the lid is a little bit bent. It's $28.95.
I put it on here, and now I don't know if I can get it off. I gave it a little thump.
It got a little.
It just needs a little TLC is all.
And that's why it's $28.95. These are sold already. These are Bovril. So this is a meat extract that they used to use for health. But they're beautiful with dried lavender. We saw them in a lot of antique stores. Even some of the high-end antique stores, they love to display these there. I was able to pick these up reasonably. This one's $28.95. This is a big one, the 16-ounce one. And then we've got the little 2-ounce ones for $13.95 each. And like I said, they were at some of the high-end antique stores. I was just glad to find some inexpensively. This one actually says $19.25. So some older amber jars.
I just love the shape on them. They're really cool.
They're just cool. Yeah, I didn't know what they were. And then I bought one at an, like, I wouldn't say an antique store, but like a little boutique. I actually paid more for these than I did for this one. Sometimes it just happens.
That's how it works out.
These I didn't think would make it, but these were 50 pence for the pair.
Etched crystal.
And they're, is it etched or it's like,
no, it's etched.
It's etched.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see. I tried to put it on the listing. They have the most beautiful, delicate etching. It goes all the way around the edge.
I think I can get it to focus.
And these little like blown feet.
We didn't know that these would make it, but we got them at a good enough price. We're like, we'll risk it.
Which is the equivalent of like 75 cents. I chanced 65. It. 65 cents. Yep. And I'm pricing them at $19.95 each for these beautiful little bowls. So they made it. They were meant to survive. They are so delicate. Okay. I thought this looked like a toilet.
It's for shaving.
But it's Flow Blue. So Flow Blue is a blueprint that the ink just kind of flowed, like when they put it on there. And that's a super popular look. In fact, the IOD sisters love to stamp with the blue ink and then blot it with water to make it look like this. Turns out not a toilet. It is for shaving. And it's ironstone. So... but doesn't it kind of look like a toilet?
You get your shaving brush and get it. It can go down in here for the rinse, and then you get your cream and stuff up top.
Somebody must know what it was because it sold. All right, somebody bought my French tart pans, otherwise known as the ironstone protectors. This is a Victorian water bottle. You would have filled this up, put it at the end of your bed with warm water, and warm up the end of your bed. We did sell one for like 50 something that was about that big. This is a bigger Mama Jamma, and these go for 100 plus. I'm selling for $69.95. I think the last time we picked up more of them. I didn't buy more because these are wicked.
Have one that broke coming home.
Did we? No.
One of those broke.
No, something. It was one of these.
Oh, what? Are you sure?
Yeah, we only bought 2.
Okay.
And that's because these are wicked heavy and they break stuff. These are like dish breakers.
They help compact the rest of the box.
So I only bought 2 this time. So this one's $69.95.
Did you show them this little picture already?
And that is the last item. There were a couple of these, and this is the only one that survived. They were broken beyond repair. So
we can't. There's like no maker stamp or anything on these.
I bought it strictly for style, and it has cows. I told you guys I love cows, and I love crazing. There's crazing all over it. It's like all crackly and delicious. And it's in relatively good condition for the age. And that one was priced accordingly because I couldn't find an exact one. How much did we have on that one?
$39.95.
And I literally bought it for cows. Phew, I can't believe it's been an hour.
Over an hour. It's time to get to
I
bed
didn't
because
think I'd make it,
you're
but-
way past, you get all pumped up and excited about your stuff.
Well, what were we talking about? Adrenaline? The guys that like climb the rocks without.
We were watching some guys do like some free climbing, or was it called?
Free climbing.
No.
They were like way up on a mountain.
There's like a specific word for it though. When they don't have anything holding them up and they're like a mile above the ground, like on these sheer rock faces. I'm like, yeah, they're just adrenaline junkies. Like, why on earth would you do that? They're literally addicted to it.
So I'm a junkie. That's what all that to say, like I was half asleep when we started, but showing this to you guys like gets me pumped like adrenaline. Like I love this so
I think it's
much.
called like free soloing.
Yeah, well, I'm a free solo junker. Somebody said they wanted to see my pot. Can you?
Your big pot?
It's heavy.
Yeah.
I've got to retin it. Zeb's going to actually practice retinning on some of my older French copper, and if he does well, then I'm going to let him deal with this. This was
Can you see the M?
85 pounds.
I feel
It
like that's a
was
steal.
from a nunnery, like a monastery in England from 1850. And retinned, I think this will be valued somewhere in the $800 US to $1,000 US because of the age, because of the heaviness of the copper.
Oh, it's super heavy gauge copper.
I could not stomach what this would cost me here in the States. So we actually packed all of those little ink wells that you guys have been buying. Half of them were packed in this and put in a suitcase, and this is what protected them to get them home. So, and it's got an M on the front. So, all right, guys, we love you. Thank you for shopping with us. If you have
Hopefully
any
you enjoy the
questions,
stuff.
Yeah, hopefully it gives you life the way that it gives us.
Like we picked this stuff because we loved it and we would use it in our home. So hopefully you like it as much as we do.
We should, by the end of next week, have everything listed. We wanted to give people time to shop before Christmas because it's a lot. We
still have 7 boxes in limbo that have not arrived yet. We're hoping Monday, since they shipped Monday, and a couple have been caught up in customs. So, you'll be seeing shorts and reels and videos of that. And we'll be
still
showing it to you.
have 3/4 of a farm table we didn't get to today. If you have questions, email info@jamierayvintage.com. And if you like this video, please hit that share button. We are going to be picking share winners on our Wednesday, Waste Not Wednesday video. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jamie Ray Vintage for more
DIY.
We'll see you on the next episode.